G'day guys, welcome back to what is a long overdue episode of my gameplay series. As per usual, I'll be looking at a single round of Koth and I'll be breaking down some of the tactics and skill sets involved. In the video you're about to see, I've decided to give the Navid a go for the first time. Obviously haters gonna hate, but I've been playing Arma for almost 5 years and have never actually used the Navid. It was a lot of fun, and as you can see here, I played 3 rounds in a row and managed to do pretty well with it. So here I am driving into the town of PYRGOS. I've pretty much joined 60 seconds after the round started, so I'm just getting in as soon as I can. As you'll see here, the priority zone is moving up towards Tower 3. So the plan was for me to drive in, park in close, and then start proceeding down into an intercept point, which I can basically hold until the zone gets to me. As you can see here, it's going to rebound off the top and then start cutting across. So here I am moving towards my intercept position. The other reason I chose that position is that it'll give me a good view of Tower 3, which at the start of the round will be a hot spot for parachuters, which you can see here. So that guy got a bit unlucky there. And as we see, more parachutes coming in.
T3, you got lots of parachuters to the east coming in close.
So I'll generally try to let my team know that battle space information before I actually start opening up on targets, especially in a situation like this where we have friendlies in the tower and parachutes coming in on them.
Okay, he's near those barracks that are just off to the east.
For the next 15 minutes, we were mostly defending the zone against green team, as the zone was getting close to their entry point to the east. This pretty much concluded the opening phase of the round, so now we'll get into the guts of the gameplay and I'll start dissecting the tactics and skill sets that I used to help my team win the round. So as you can see here, the zone has moved south whilst I was holding a rear guard action against the green team. The hope was that I could hold off the green team whilst my team pursued the zone, but my team ran into a strong Blue 4 counter-attack to the south. As Blue 4 were now the major threat, I disengaged and I moved south to help out the rest of my team. I could see on the minimap though that they were taking heavy casualties, so rather than just being another body in the meat grinder, I pushed hard to their western flank to try to get another angle on the opposition and create crossing fields of fire. Here I am moving south as quick as I can, obviously running with the binos out because I can see those casualties on the minimap to my east. It's a little bit risky running with your binos out, but everything you do in this game is a calculated risk, and I just wanted to get here as quickly as I could. So here I am on the enemy's western flank. There, just got 2 quick kills. You can see all the friendlies down there. Every time the enemy run in, they've got their back to me because they're so focused on that bulk of red team, or bulk of my friendlies that are over there, that they're not looking behind them. And I've moved position here slightly just so I can get a better angle, but again, I'm still on that western flank. So I was here for quite some time. There are actually 4 kills I didn't show on this for time's sake, as it's more about the tactics for this one. Eventually the enemy end up finding out where I am, and I end up trading with this guy on the staircase. That whole engagement pretty much ended up just being a stalemate. Both sides lost a lot of people. However, if I hadn't have made that tactical decision to push to that western flank and had just hopped in the meat grinder, red team would have just been massacred because more than half of our team was down by the time I got there. However, the zone is now on the western side of PYRGOS and it's moving north, so the plan is to put myself once again in that intercept path. So I've come in pretty balls to the wall here, but I do have a lot of friendlies up here in front of me, which is why I feel safe driving into the AO on the western side.
Land, don't you?
The only thing I would have done differently is to have parked somewhere with more cover, as Tower 4, as you can see there, could have someone looking out the window, but it's a small risk. And yeah, I'm just setting up so I can wait for that priority zone. This was probably one of my favourite moments of the game. This is definitely what happens when the pilots don't communicate with the people that they're carrying. So as you can see, the priority zone is now pretty much reached us. In the bottom right hand corner you can see there's green and blue in the zone. So now it's just a matter of waiting until we get those targets coming through our crosshairs. I'm communicating here with our team just to let them know to hold position because blue will be on us any minute. And as you can see here, we've got the priority zone nicely covered so that we can take down any contacts that are chasing the zone there. So what I'm about to do here is something called the ambush method, which I have talked about before. As you can see, there's a target there, though he's about to go out of my eyesight and pop up on the right. So what I do, instead of tracking his movement with the crosshair, I actually put the crosshair far enough in front of him so that I've got time to let him run into it. It's a really handy method for when you've got tricky shots like that. Naturally, we had more greens and blues pushing through this area. As you can see, there's a dead friendly just to the north there. And so we had blue pushing through. As soon as I saw that dead friendly, I knew that's where they'd be streaming through, so I kept eyes on it.
Yeah, Jackal just killed one. He ran to the right side of the road you're facing.
Excellent, you got him?
Got 1 times.
So 2 friendlies have just gone down behind me, and if you look in the bottom right hand corner, you can see the green team have just made a massive push on the priority zone. So yeah, I'm just sitting up here waiting to see those green targets pop up.
Jack, is he dead?
Is that the guy?
No.
Yeah, he's on me in the building.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 friendlies down in there. I've told my teammates to just be patient. Let's deal with green team first before we get them up. They were cool with that. But the opposition end up doing the complete opposite of this. They keep suicidally coming in and trying to revive their teammates, even though the person who's killed them is still alive. So basically, if you go down, you want to monitor that kill feed and make sure that your killer is actually dead before you tell your teammates to come in and get you. As you're seeing here, it's this green team streaming in, trying to revive, even though I'm obviously not dead yet. And so they just keep getting absolutely massacred. They started off with something like 17 in the zone, and then they end up with 6. It would have been a lot smarter if they had have just told their teammates to respawn, then they had have just broken contact and withdrawn in the direction of the priority zone. So here we are now, the zone's pushed firmly to the east, green's back in the game, and instead of following my teammates who are pursuing the zone, my plan is to cut directly south and put myself in another intercept position on the west of the priority zone. So I'm just going building by building, making sure things are clear. Naturally coming into contact with some blues, and here I just go offline in case this guy's got some friendlies that are peeking around the corner. And again, checking my surroundings. As you can see there, my team's firmly pursuing it, hitting a bit of contact there, most likely green. And sure enough, this guy did have some friendlies. That's the whole reason you put yourself out of line of sight for a moment. It's just about playing that patient game. So even here I'm checking my score, but I'm still giving myself that angle down that alleyway, just making sure I can see things. So I waited for another 30 to 60 seconds. Once I deemed it was clear, I got the binos out and started moving on foot again. It's funny that this game is such a dynamic game mode, so each round can be quite different from one another, but you will find those general patterns starting to emerge, especially with the priority zone, which is just going clockwise generally. So as you can see, my guys, once the zone has gone to the east, they've run into some trouble with green. The zone's going to start coming south in a moment. And once again, I'm in that position that I was earlier when my team ran into that trouble with the blue counter-attack there. My guys taking some time to catch up, but they finally did, as you can see there. I'm still in that same spot though, and we got into a massive fight with blue and green at the same time.
Andrew, one upstairs.
Let's finish this.
He's dead, Andrew. He's dead. You can probably loot his body.
Street white building is right there.
So the focus tended to be on this building, so I just pretty much sat here and just kept Overwatch for my guys.
Killed one in there again.
This was the 4th time a green member has gone to that top floor to revive a teammate. It just shows that they're not communicating and they're not monitoring the kill feed. Otherwise, they know that I'm still alive and that it's pointless to try to do what 3 other people before them couldn't do.
There's one on the other side of the building, Jackson.
It's a really common thing that I see in King of the Hill.
He's just gone upstairs.
I'm back.
Fuck, there's a lot of green here. Careful. He's coming in, Jackson. Oh, nice, mate. Well done. Saw that.
I've got 8 bullets left.
Just loot. Just loot, man. Just loot.
Just go.
So I ended up holding a rearguard action here once again, letting my team sort of pursue the zone whilst I held off green and what was remainder of blue. But we did know that there was, as you can see in the bottom right hand corner, lots of blue team over here, so eventually moving over. This spot is a nice view of the priority zone and anyone transitioning through it, as you can see here. So naturally green caught up, they're obviously approaching from the eastern side.
A lot of guys to my east, close.
I'd already taken down 2 greens at this stage. Got that guy, I went to grab his launcher so that I could kill the vehicle outside, but wasn't quick enough.
Lots of my body boys are coming in behind you. You're going to get pinched by green team.
So even if you intend to respawn, pause for a few seconds and pass on what information you can so that your team can reference your body on the map first. Anyway, here we are towards the end of the round. I've respawned, come back in via car. A lot of my guys are getting killed on my right hand side there. So rather than running straight towards them, I naturally utilise this double-storey building in front of me here so I can get some height over the position that they're in. You always see me going for the second story of a building to fight from rather than fighting on the ground like these guys here. You just got a much better advantage in terms of actual solid cover, but also if you back off the window, you're using it as concealment as well. Whereas those guys there popping their heads around the corner, it's just so much more obvious. So we pretty much ended up fighting green team until we grinded out the round. As you can see there, 100 points to 26 being the closest, so we pretty much dominated that entire round. That was just good use of tactics, everyone making sure they were following the zone. But I'll be putting out some more content soon. I've already got a couple of things half done. I'm also looking at putting out some new content for games such as Hell Let Loose, which is a great new World War II shooter, and Mordau, which is a absolutely hectic medieval combat game. Until then guys, thanks again for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Bye.